So it was like, for me, it was, oh, Fetty Wap, he fell off and he ain't doing that, he not doing this, and you know what I'm saying? And to me, it was like nobody was understanding what I was really doing. Like, if you listen to all the music I made, it was do this for the family and get right for the family and do this for my kids and do this for I'ma get my bros right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the point I was trying to make people see. You know what I mean? It's not about how fast or just because my shit not extravagant as anybody else. It takes time to build that shit up, you know what I'm saying? And that's all I want to do. I want to be just like another Jay-Z and have a Rock Nation or another P. Diddy and have a Bad Boys. When they see me, I'm a Fetty Wap, going to be RG after Island, you know what I'm saying? And that's just trying to play chess instead of play checkers with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 1738. I promised all my niggas we gon' make it. For 4 inches, we ain't scared, we gon' take it. Watch the look on all these niggas' faces. Coming through in the foreigns like we racing. Yeah.
What up, guys? Your boy Quake, and I'm back with a brand new episode of What Happened To. But before we get into that, be sure to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at QuakeGW. I'd really appreciate it, and leave a like on this video. On the last episode, I covered an older R&B artist, and for this one, I wanted to do a newer generation. He's not really an R&B artist. He's kind of a rapper and an R&B artist, mixture of both, whatever you want to call it. But this guy, when he first came out, was literally the hottest thing that year, no question about it. And as you can tell by the video title, I'm talking about Fetty Wap. What happened to Fetty Wap? Fetty Wap in 2015 was the biggest thing in music. I've never seen a bigger debut than this in quite some time. You could argue Drake and you could argue 50 Cent. But other than that, Fetty Wap, in terms of singles and hit records back to back to back in his debut, was the biggest thing. And it seemed like this guy just came up out of nowhere, and he was very unique in his style, used a different type of sound, and at the time was a breath of fresh air when people were listening to him. He was also using the word baby a lot, which a lot of rappers or artists in general didn't seem like they were using at that time. They were using all kinds of derogatory slangs, stuff like that. So it was something completely new, something refreshing that we haven't heard in a while. So he just blew up. So let's get into his career, how he got into music, his peak, and then what he's up to now. Fetty Wap was born on June 7th in 1991. And immediately when he was born, unfortunately, he was born with glaucoma in both of his eyes. 6 months in, and the doctors tried saving both of his eyes, but they only ended up saving his right eye, so he would go on to have just one eye.
When I want to say, I can't really remember what age I was, but I know I was little. I was real little. You know what I'm saying? I had congenital glaucoma, and it affected one. It is supposed to affect both of my eyes, and the doctor saved one. The nerve went bad in my left eye. The nerve went bad in my left eye, and he caught it right before it affected the right eye.
He was born and raised in Paterson, New Jersey, and as he grew up as a kid, he ended up getting bullied for having one eye. So he had to learn how to fight quickly in middle school, and then that's how he got involved in a lot of street things. Growing up, he wasn't fully comfortable with people knowing he only had one eye, so he would wear a prosthetic eye, and finally when he hit 19, he said, "Fuck it, I am who I am," and decided to remove it. And everyone knew that he only had one eye and embraced him for it.
I'm gonna say that was recent. I was like 19, 20. You know what I mean? Like, I really didn't care no more. You feel me? It was just like, whatever, man. Like, everybody in my city already knew. So it wasn't like nothing new. They was like, oh, finally, nigga, like, we already know. You know what I'm saying? So it just, I got more comfortable, you know what I mean? And I'll just be chilling.
Fetty says he never wanted to become an artist at all. It was just his homies around him kept making music, so he decided to jump in. And in 2013 is when he officially started making music.
I want to say it wasn't far-fetched, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of my homies rap, you know what I mean? And so it was just something I jumped into with them, you know what I mean? So it was really, that's why it started as a group, the whole Remy boys.
And how he chose the name Fetty Wap was that his homies would call him Fetty for getting all kinds of money, and then the Wap part came because his biggest influence in music was Gucci Mane, and he has a nickname by the name of Guwap. So he decided to take Fetty and the Wap part from Gucci's name and combine the two.
I got the name Fetty Wap, you know what I mean? Well, first it was just Fetty, you know what I mean? The Wap thing came from, you know what I'm saying, that's my favorite rapper, Gucci, man, you know what I'm saying? Everybody know that, you know what I mean? But Fetty came from my hood, you know what I mean? Like, I was known for getting money, you know what I'm saying? So I always try to keep them dollars on me, so they used to call me Fetty, you feel me? Like, oh, Fettuccine, you know what I mean? However you want to put it. But it was more so Fetty, and then I just put it together, Fetty Wap.
In late 2013, he started recording his first track, and by the time he hit his third track, he ended up recording Trap Queen. And yes, only 3 tracks in, being a totally new artist, never hitting the studio, his third track was Trap Queen, and immediately he knew at that time that it was a hit.
Everything in-house, you know what I'm saying? It was my beat, you feel me? My producer, you know what I'm saying? We just played the beat. I was like, yo, play this beat for me. Yo, you gotta hear this, like, you gotta hear this. I was playing it the night before, like, yo, this shit crazy right here. So he's playing, you know what I mean? We turned up a little bit, I went in there, and I just kept singing, like, I didn't stop till the beat stopped.
Before we continue today's video, I wanna give a big shout out to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Check this out. If you haven't heard of Raycons, they're the best wireless earbuds in the whole market. In hip hop, we pay attention heavily to sound quality, and when it comes to sound quality, these earbuds are the best. Besides the great sound quality, the #1 thing is they're wireless, truly wireless. Have you gotten roasted for having wired earbuds, man? For tripping over your wires? I got so many wires in this office that I fall all the damn time. I'm tired of wires. Everything needs to be wireless, and thank God these Raycon E25 earbuds are wireless. They come in a lot of colors too, plenty to choose from to match your outfits or whatever the hell you want to match, whether it's your car, I don't care, it doesn't matter. They look fly on you regardless. On top of that, they're very discreet. You could hardly tell they're in my ears at all, and I have some huge ears. And the best thing, and I know I've said the best thing like 3 times, but this is the best thing because I'm a cheapskate. The best thing is these things are half the price versus their competitors. And you get 6 hours of playtime off one charge, and they got those little silicone things with multiple different things you can wear so it fits your ear perfectly. And the best thing is, I know I've said that 30 times, this is the best thing though, you get 15% off when you order using my link, buyraycon.com/diverse mentality. A link is in the description below. Thank you for the support, and let's continue with the video. All of his local friends heard the track and agreed with him that it was a hit record. So in 2014, he decided to promote the track by going to literally every single music event and handing out CDs with that single on there. He said he didn't care if he got denied, if people threw away the CD. He just wanted people to hear it, and he kept pushing it throughout all of 2014. And this is rare for an artist to do, to believe in a track so much that they're willing to work the track for 1 whole year before it actually starts to catch steam.
So what made you work that record so long? Because you worked that record for, had to be a year.
Yeah. Like you said, you know what I mean? Like I had a lot of females vibing to the song. And the way I know like to break the records through like the old school way. You know, you take it to the strip clubs. I don't try it. I mean, I wasn't trying to shoot for no radio or nothing like that. I just wanted people to hear the record. Like I wasn't shooting for none of this. You know what I'm saying? Like it just I guess the way it happened. I mean, they really love the song, like genuinely love the song, and it just kept spreading and spreading. And then next thing you know, I'm driving home from a show and I came on the radio.
In 2014, he released his debut mixtape, Up Next, with a local New Jersey DJ. And this was the mixtape that he was handing out to people throughout all of 2014. It featured the tracks Trap Queen and 679. Trap Queen finally became a huge record all across America, and in the end of 2014, Fetty Wap ended up signing to 300 Entertainment. The label immediately took the Trap Queen track and decided to push it to radio stations and mainstream platforms on December 15th, 2014 as the lead single for his debut album. And by May 2015, the song ended up peaking at #2 on the Billboard Hot 100, and at this point, Fetty Wap was the biggest thing in music. And to date, the song has sold over 10 million singles, so it's gone diamond. In the midst of this, Fetty Wap kept the music coming out, and he dropped a new mixtape on February 2015 called Zoo Style. The label then noticed another track catching steam just like Trap Queen, and the track was called 679, and they decided to push that as the second single from his debut album on June 29th, 2015. The The track ended up peaking at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, and to date, the song has gone 6 times platinum. This track, though, ended up bringing Fetty Wap his first lawsuit in the music industry, and it was with his own artist that was on the Remy Boyz group. His name is P. Dice, and he was originally featured on the 679 track, but was removed on the official album, so he ended up suing for $7 million in damages because he was supposed to get paid 16.9% off of that track, and instead he got paid only 5%. Regardless, the hits kept coming, and the label saw that Fetty Wap's My Way track was catching steam as well, so they decided to use that as the third single off his debut album and pushed it on July 17th, 2015. And this track peaked at number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. So at this point, Fetty Wap had 3 tracks in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, and My Way ended up going 3 times platinum. The label kept this momentum going, and they decided in August to push the 4th single, which is called Again, on August 13th, 2015. This track peaked at number 33 on the Billboard Hot 100, but this track would end up making history for Fetty Wap because he would be the first artist ever on the rap charts to simultaneously have 4 singles on the Billboard Top 10 rap songs. Again, Trap Queen, My Way, and 679 were all in the top 10, and this was all before he released his debut album. The single Again also went 3 times platinum. At this point, the label was ready to finally release Fetty Wap's debut album, and on September 25th, 2015, Fetty Wap dropped his new self-titled album. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and sold 129,000 copies its first week, and since its release, it has gone double platinum. Then following that, Fetty Wap kept the momentum going and decided to drop a new mixtape with French Montana on October 26, 2015, called Coke Zoo. After having a massive year in 2015, he kept the music coming, and beginning of 2016, on February 2nd, he dropped a new mixtape called Zoo 16. Of course, with all the success comes lawsuits, and Fetty Wap faced a huge one for his track, Trap Queen. Apparently, there was a person that accused him of stealing the beat because he owned exclusive rights to the beat in 2014. Regardless, Fetty Wap let his lawyers deal with that and kept the music coming out. And in the summer of 2016, on June 17th, he dropped a compilation mixtape called RGF Island Volume 1, where he showcases all the artists he signed to RGF. Then the next month, on July 12, 2016, he dropped a collab mixtape with PNB Rock called Money, Hoes, and Flows. And on this mixtape, there was a track called Jealous, and I feel like this is Fetty Wap's best hook. He shouldn't have gave this track to PNB Rock. He should have kept it for himself. Speaking of hooks, he appeared on various other artists' tracks, and a lot of them were huge successes. One of the first tracks he appeared on was Lil Dicky's Save That Money on the hook with Rich Homie Quan. This track peaked at number 71 on the Billboard Hot 100 and ended up going double platinum. He also appeared on Kid Ink's track Promise, and this peaked at number 57 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went platinum. He also appeared on Fifth Harmony's track All in My Head. This peaked at number 27 on the Billboard Hot 100 and also went platinum. And these are just a few tracks he appeared on, some of the most successful ones. He also dropped 2 new singles, and these were supposed to be the lead singles for his upcoming second album. The first one was called Jimmy Shoe, and it peaked at number 65 on the Billboard Hot 100. And the second one was called Wake Up, and this track peaked at number 50 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went platinum. However, though, Fetty Wap and his label felt like these 2 singles weren't successful enough to be lead singles off the upcoming album. Following this, Fetty Wap kept the music coming, and he dropped a new mixtape called Zouvir on November 21st, 2016. Then in 2017, Fetty Wap would face a lot more legal problems and a lot of different personal problems. In 2017, Fetty was found guilty for defaming an ex-employee who was a former tour staffer. She alleged that Fetty promised to pay her up to 10% of the money he made from his performances, and she ended up using her own money to cover tour expenses, according to Vibe. He owed her about $242,000, and on top of that, falsely claimed she stole from him. He ultimately ended up owing her $1 million.
I took control of everything, you know what I'm saying? I just instead of everybody just telling me y'all gotta do this and you gotta do that, and I ain't really know too much of nothing about what was going on, you know what I'm saying? So it just like it took a little while, you know, almost 4 years now, you know what I'm saying, since I really been active like in a, like, you know what I mean, the music world, you know, in the industry and everything. But I had to clean everything up, so, you know what I mean, make sure this shit keep shining, you know what I'm saying? Because the boats was getting loose, wheels was falling off.
Despite that, he kept the music coming, and on October 15th, 2017, he dropped a new mixtape called For My Fans 2. The original For My Fans wasn't a mixtape, it was just an EP that was released on December 1st, 2015. Then in November of 2017, Fetty Wap was busted for drunk driving and drag racing. He ended up doing like 100 miles per hour in a 50 mile per hour zone and was speeding like crazy and was obviously intoxicated, but he was taken to jail and posted bail immediately. Then in the beginning of 2018, on January 19th, he dropped the third installment, For My Fans 3, the final chapter mixtape. And I really enjoyed this mixtape. I felt like Fetty Wap was back on point with the music. One of my favorite tracks off this mixtape is called Love the Way. I'm surprised it didn't blow up. Fetty Wap also appeared on 6ix9ine's Kiki track featuring A Boogie, and this track was a huge success. Fetty Wap was featured on the hook. This track peaked at number 43 on the Billboard Hot 100. Following this, Fetty Wap kept the momentum going, and on June 7, 2018, he dropped a new mixtape called Bruce Wayne. However, none of these mixtapes that were released in 2018 really built any momentum for his music. Then going in 2019, he faced a lot of different personal problems once again. Some of it was baby mama drama, and some of it was just personal people in his team that were trying to steal money or not do the right work the right way. So he had to get rid of a lot of people that he brought with him in 2015.
I wasn't trying to be Fetty Wap. And that's what people didn't understand. Like, and you know, if you remember, like in our first interview, I was saying like, Fetty Wap was just the face. Like, I'm trying to get my mans no more. You know what I'm saying?
I remember
like,
that.
So it was just like this time it's all about me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not about, oh, I'm trying to do this for the family and da 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 da. My family is great now. Like, you know what I'm saying? My immediate family is doing very well. Like, you know, my kids are doing very well. So I don't really like I took that, I chopped the bus in half. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no more. It's not a 30 passenger no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Despite that, though, he kept the music coming, and in 2019, he dropped a new mixtape called For My Fans 4, the hidden chapter, on October 16th, 2019. Throughout all of 2019, though, he kept also dropping a lot of loose singles. And on July 17th, 2019, he dropped a new single called Birthday featuring Monty. And this single was actually gaining quite a bit of momentum, and it was doing well in terms of reception from people and radio DJs and stuff like that. He kept trying to push it, but ultimately it didn't chart on the Billboard Hot 100. But personally, for myself, I really like this track. If you haven't heard the Birthday track, go ahead and check it out.
Love it when you walk my way. Baby, you a boss. I'ma listen when you talk now, baby.
Then in August of 2019, he dropped a new single with T Grizzly called Zoo. Unfortunately, this track didn't gain momentum at all either. Then he dropped another new single called Brand New. This track was dropped towards the end of September of 2019, and it's a very dope track. It was supposed to be the lead single off his upcoming sophomore album, King Zoo, but that ended up not happening because the momentum wasn't there once again. He then ended up dropping another new single called Fresh and Clean in December of 2019, and this track was a play off of Outkast's So Fresh and Clean, and this track is actually very dope. I'm surprised once again it didn't get the same momentum that his initial tracks when he first came out did. It's a very well done track and pays great homage to Outkast's single. Fetty Wap has always been consistent with the music, and in 2020, that's no different. On February 14, 2020, he dropped a new mixtape called Trap and B, and this is what he calls his genre of music. And the mixtape is actually pretty good in my opinion. The standout track to me is called Reasons, so if you're going to go check out that project, go ahead and listen to Reasons. Following this, in May of 2020, he also dropped another new single called Pretty Thing, and is doing pretty great numbers on YouTube at 2.4 million views. Fast forward till now, and in October 22nd, 2020, Fetty Wap is featured on a tracks with Drax project called Firefly, and this track sounds like it's going to blow up because it sounds like a really good radio hit. That's it for this episode of What Happened to Fetty Wap. It's a damn shame a lot of the songs that he's released in terms of singles haven't really caught a lot of attention. Tracks like Birthday are some of my favorite that he's released recently, and I don't understand why those tracks aren't catching on. I'm patiently waiting for that King Zoo album. Hopefully he finds something. Maybe he does a feature with an artist that's popping right now, so he gets some steam from them. He's still signed to the original label he signed with in 2015, which is 300 Entertainment. Maybe the label isn't doing enough to push his tracks. Who knows? Maybe he needs to leave them and sign with a different label. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't know why the music is not catching on anymore. Maybe that new artist effect is gone and people are just tired of the sound. Who knows? But he's definitely releasing still great tracks here and there. Let me know what you guys think of Fetty Wap. Were you guys actually into the music when he came out with them? Or were you just into the singles? Did you actually enjoy his debut album? And do you think he has the formula still to release hits? Like I said, I feel like that Birthday track was a really, really dope track that should have caught a lot of momentum. When he initially released it, I thought it was going to be his comeback single, but I feel like his formula still works. It just needs to be promoted a lot better. Maybe he needs to go back to his roots of how he promoted the Trap Queen record and just go state to state, go to radio station after radio station and push whatever single he feels like is the right one. That's it for today's video. If you guys want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diverse mentality. For just $1 a month or more, you can help support this channel further. A link is in the description below. Like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe. I do videos like this daily on hip-hop news and much more, so definitely subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at QuakeGW. Like us on Facebook, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.